Welcome to another round of Prem and Proper here on SDH. We'll take you through the week that was in the Premier League, get you ready for the weekend that will be as we get closer and closer and closer to determining what's going to happen at the top and the bottom here in the 21-22 season. Let's take you through the matches in the last 7 days. And we can go back to Chelsea and Manchester United, a 1-1 draw there at Old Trafford, as the draw option was a plus 265. Very, very busy Saturday. It was a Newcastle and Liverpool. Liverpool, 5 changes coming in after their first leg in the Champions League against Villarreal. And it was Naby Keita at the end, giving Liverpool the 1-0 win as a minus 182. Here's Jurgen Klopp after the match, courtesy of our friends at BN Sports in the Premier League.
Many congratulations. It's not easy to come to a team who's a form team at the moment and perform the way that you did. How pleased were you with the performance, given that you're coming to play Newcastle, as we mentioned?
Oh, absolutely. Because we was one deserved winner today. It was us. Everything else would have been unlucky for us and lucky for Newcastle. They had one way, like kicking the long balls in our right side area, fighting for the second balls and go from there. So we had to learn a little bit to control that in the game. Apart from that, we controlled the game and played really good stuff, and I liked it a lot. We obviously had more chances, didn't score, scored a wonderful goal, to be honest, really. And could have scored more. I think that's clear. But the performance was outstanding. So many brilliant individual performances in a tough period. So really happy.
Were you worried at any moment that the goal might not become? Because with the refereeing decision nowadays, everything seems to be very sensitive. Although it was a great tackle.
No, I saw it in front of me that if there was a foul, then was foul from Cher on, I think, Sadio, not the other way around. So Sadio just stayed on his feet and went from there. And then what Naby made of it was obviously pretty nice. So no, I was not. I think obviously this season everything happened already, at least for once. And but no, I was sure if the VR has a look, he sees there was no foul, and if, then the other way around.
Of course, he scored the goal. It was a wonderful goal that he scored, Naby Keita. But his overall performance tonight,
unbelievable. It's not the tallest, but was really big today. I loved it. So, but that's the only chance why we can win games, because the boys perform in these moments again. The impact from the boys who didn't play the last time was massive. The last game was massive. We needed them. We had to make 5 changes. I couldn't see any rhythm break. That's the biggest compliment you can make.
Brighton knocked off Wolves 3-0, and then Burnley continued their recent run of form. More results. They were down 1-0 to Watford, come back to win 2-1 as a road underdog at Vicarage Road as a plus 189. After the match, Sky Sports caught up with caretaker manager Mike Jackson.
To Rogerson after the game, and the career he's had as well. So my thoughts was straight away, obviously with us a little bit, and I went straight to him because I knew I've seen that before, and it's you don't want people dancing around in front of you when that's just happened to your team. So you've got to have a bit of respect and a bit of dignity about you.
When he took the job at Watford, his brief was to keep them in the Premier League. Your brief is much the same. What did he say then to you after the game?
Listen, he just said, well done. He said, well done. We had a chat. I don't want to go too much into it. But again, taking that time out as well to speak to us with obviously the day that they'd had is a credit to him as a person and as a manager, and probably why he's worked at them levels that he has.
So that was a conversation that Jackson and Roy Hodgson had about things and how, you don't want to necessarily see folks jumping up and down and all around when you're beaten in your own building. So it was a good information there from Mike Jackson about conversations that you have on the touchline between managers in a very, very difficult situation. Then you've got Crystal Palace over Southampton by the score of 2-1. Aston Villa's win 2-0 over Norwich pretty much relegated Norwich from the Premier League. They'll be spending next season in the Championship. Villa at the Villa Park was a minus 238. Manchester City started out slowly, pretty much trotted out a first-choice lineup against Leeds after a slow start in the first half, put 4 on the board by the time they were done at a minus 303, and they kept pace with Liverpool as they were the early game. Manchester City and Leeds was the late game on your Saturday. 3 matches on your Sunday. Tottenham over Leicester by the score of 3-1 at a minus 270. Then probably the match of the weekend, Everton and Chelsea. And Everton at home Goodison Park beats Chelsea by the score of 1-0 as a minus 420 to bring things together in the relegation fight. Everton sticking close to those above them, Burnley and Leeds. And so they caught up with Frank Lampard after the match, as our friends did at Sky Sports, just to get his thoughts on a gut-wrenching win. Fantastic win, a gutsy win, as well as gut-wrenching for Everton, knocking off Chelsea, 3 points they desperately needed.
Frank, congratulations. I imagine that added time, the longest 7 minutes of your managerial career.
Yeah, up there. 7 was a bit of a surprise. I expected a few, to be fair, but no, difficult. A team that are always going to put you under pressure in the latter stages of a game, considering it's 1-0, and we did brilliantly. We dug in, the team, the stadium. Fans are man of the match today. Fans from the drive-in to the support, which we need where we are. And thanks to them. And yeah, long 7 minutes.
I bet you absolutely wanted to bottle that atmosphere at full time. And you've touched on it there. It's no exaggeration. They really have played a part in this victory, the fans.
No, they're in the middle of it. And I said to you before, I'm pleased that the players can see that on the way in and what it means to the fans. They know that, but to really understand it. And yeah, as I say, just thanks to them, because it was a game where they supported us, they got behind us, they were nicely aggressive. This place needs to be a hard place to come. And to be fair, I saw our results at Goodison since I've been here before the game came up, and we've been good here. You know, it's not the reason. We have to maintain that, and we have to keep level-headed, because there's a lot of points to fight for still. We're still in the relegation zone. We have the extra game, but we have to go with that same spirit as a whole every game.
You say there about the importance of keeping level-headed. How well do you think your players dealt with the occasion today and the emotion? Because particularly in the first half, we saw a little bit of a melee breakout at one point.
Yeah, but they have to show they care. I like that. You know, I don't want anything over the line, but I like they have to show you care. Good teams do that. They've done it over the ages, and the fans want to see that the players care, and they do. And I prodded them a bit today before the game, because I thought they needed it, because the situation is clear. We need to perform with that level in all our remaining games. And when you see how we perform there, I can ask them the question now then of that needs to keep coming. And if it doesn't, then there's a reason, and then we have to sort that out. But what they did today is what they've done at Goodison for me, is perform with spirit and togetherness. And you know what? Tactical organisation. And on another day, I know Jordan made great saves and they had chances. They're Chelsea, they will do. But we had good chances there today, and we played a fantastic game.
Last match on Sunday, Arsenal knocked off West Ham by the score of 2-1. They were a road favorite as a minus 120, the Gunners were. And our friends at BT Sport caught up with Mikel Arteta after the match, who, honest in his assessment, didn't think that his team played the best ball, even though they got full points.
We didn't concede goals, but we didn't play so well. So if I have to analyze the game, I will use a word that is like.
Please don't use it here.
Yeah. It used to win ugly. Today we won ugly. And big teams, they have to find a way to win ugly when they don't play at the best. And today with the ball, we were really poor. And then we lacked, obviously, composure, dominance to play the game that we wanted to play. But we find a way. We find a way through set pieces, through defending extremely well, so not conceding nothing apart from the goal. And to win here away from one against West Ham, it's credit to the boys, and they show the spirit that we have. We didn't concede goals, but we didn't.
Monday Night Football, Manchester United over Brentford by the score of 3-0. So the home finale goes the way of Manchester United. They get full points as a minus 132 heading into this particular week. And so let's take you into the standings and get you ready for the weekend that will be. Manchester City and Liverpool, once again, they've held serve with one another through 34 matches. Manchester City with a 1-point lead, 83-82. Goal difference is plus 63 to plus 64. So that could even come into play as we work our way forward. Chelsea third at 66. Arsenal having won 3 in a row now. They're at 63 points in fourth. Spurs at 61 points. Manchester United only have 2 matches to go. They've played 36 so far this season. They're at 58 points. So they've got to get some work done if they are going to work their way out of the Europa League spots, but it's not looking likely that they'll get into European football. So it might be Europa League for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. West Ham is currently in 7th, having lost 3 of 4, but they're focused on Europa League as well. and they are at 52 points. Wolves, having lost 4 of 5, 3 in a row, they're at 49. They are in 8th. Brighton, 44 points in 9th. Newcastle, 43 points, having had their 4-game win streak snapped last week. They're at 43 points in 10th. Leicester at 42 points. They are in 11th. Crystal Palace, 41 points. Aston Villa, now they're unbeaten in their last 2 after losing 3 in a row. They are at 40 points ahead of Brentford on goal difference and ahead of Southampton on goal difference. Remember, Southampton, with that big loss a couple weeks ago, 6-0 to Chelsea, really dented their goal difference in goals scored and goals allowed. They are now at a minus 17. Burnley, 16th at 34 points. They've won 3 in a row. They're unbeaten in their last 4 since the coaching change to Michael Jackson. Leeds, murderous run-in. We know this. Minus 34 in goal difference. They are at 34 points, currently in 17th. Everton, match in hand over Leeds and Burnley, but they have the easier run in. Everton at 32 points, having snapped their up and down streak of win, draw, loss in their last 3. So getting a win on the board, they've now won 2 of 4. Everton minus 20 in goal difference at 32 points. Pretty much Watford relegated for all intents and purposes. They have 4 matches to go, and they have a minus 37 in goal difference. They would need to win out and get a lot of help. So any point that they do not get going in means that they will be relegated. They've lost 5 in a row. They've only won 6 of 34 this year. They've lost 24 of 34. Norwich relegated last weekend, 5-6-23, goal difference of minus 39. They've only scored 22 goals in 34 matches this year. They've lost 3 in a row, and they are at 21 points. So let's get you ready for the weekend that will be in the Premier League, and it is Brentford and Southampton. You got 4 matches on your Saturday. Brentford, Southampton. Brentford's a plus 125 at Brentford Community Stadium as Southampton visits Burnley and Villa. Villa is a road favorite at Turf Moor at a plus 141. Burnley at home's a plus 204. Chelsea is a minus 263 hosting Wolves. Crystal Palace is a minus 147 hosting Watford. 12:30 Brighton hosting Manchester United. Manchester United is a plus 156 at the Amex. Brighton is a plus 177. Liverpool, a minus 213. They're the late game on Saturday hosting Spurs. Liverpool, a minus 213. Spurs is a plus 573, and your draw's a plus 392. Could be a sneaky one because Jurgen Klopp has said that he knows that his team is going to have to suffer in the second leg against Villarreal. So coming back from the second leg against Villarreal, if they do in fact suffer, then they have to come home and play Tottenham at Anfield as your late match on Saturday afternoon. Sunday morning, East Coast time here in the U.S., Arsenal a minus 217 as Leeds visits. Leeds close to plus 600. Leicester hosting Everton at the King Power. Leicester's a plus 143. Everton's a plus 204. Norwich hosting West Ham. The Hammers are a minus 119. Coming out of Europa League play, Norwich is a plus 336. Manchester City hosting Newcastle at Manchester City. Manchester City at the Etihad is a plus 556. Newcastle basically a plus 1600. And on your Tuesday, Aston Villa and Liverpool. Villa is a plus 595. Liverpool a minus 213. And that one will be interesting as well with some midweek action next week in the Premier League. You're going to have action Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Sunday. So it's going to be an interesting week there, Tuesday and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So next couple of weeks, because of European play and the other domestic activity, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks in the Premier League as we get down to cases. That's your quick look at Prem and Proper, everybody. Enjoy match week 35, 4, 7. 34, 35, 36, 37, depending on your club. So enjoy your matches. It's going to be another busy weekend in the Prem. It's another round of Prem and Proper here at SDH. I'm just John. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy your games.